Evaluator, Survi, please be on the virtual stage.
Thank you, Monica. Hello, everyone. Kanishk is attempting his CC10 speech. The objectives of his speech is to inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives and challenging the audience to achieve a higher level of beliefs or achievement. He can use storytelling, anecdotes, quotes, or any sort of drama to appeal to the audience. Timer, please note that the timing allowed for him is 8 to 10 minutes. All the best, Kanishk.
Thank you, Survi. So about Kanishk, we truly don't need any introduction. He also has mentioned that he loves public speaking and of course short introduction, but how can I not mention that he is our brand? I mean, whenever it comes to GOT, okay, Kanishk from GOT. With this, I would like to call our third speaker, Kanishk, on the stage. So Kanishk is going to, his speech title is Shakti Cafe Special Noodles. Shakti Cafe Special Noodles, Kanishk, over to you.
The year is 2021. After spending an entire year inside your house being locked down, you're armed with an incredible sense of excitement as you embark on your first trip outside. Now, for the life of you, you can't remember being this excited for a trip, even if you go far back as your school days. So you and your friends travel through the night in a taxi cab and make it to these mountains. And here you are at 5 a.m. in the morning with the large towering figure of the mountain right in front of you. Since it's only February, the mountain retains some of its glistening white caps. Smoky clouds of fog coiling around it like a serpent coils around a rat. As you take in the serpent rat combo, a cold, fresh, crisp air enters your lungs. And for a second, you truly sense what it is like to be alive again. Now you appreciate the beauty of the mountain, the lack of pollution, and that fog serpent thing, whatever. But also, you know what you really need to do. Because you're a meticulous planner, you spend the weekend before the trip doing your research, going through Google reviews and TripAdvisors, and you found out that the most special thing about this mountain is that on top of this mountain is a mysterious cafe called Shakti Cafe. Shakti is the Hindi word for power, and Shakti Cafe is the elegantly labeled cafe at the top of this thing. Now you're very curious because no traveler has posted a single photo of the cafe, but they insist that it was the best food they ever had. And especially wrote about a food item that was the stuff of legends, the Shakti Cafe Special Noodles. Now these legends say that the Shakti Cafe Special Noodles are concocted from a special set of herbs that are available only at the very top of the mountain. Travelers insisting that each bite of it being filled with incredible flavor and insisting that it fills the mind with incredible focus. Armed with nothing but ambition, at the foot of the mountain, you promise to yourself, one way or another, before the day ends, you will find a way to have the Shakti Cafe Special Noodles. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters of the day and my fellow special noodle fans, good evening. Now stay with me because we still have to make the trek. The trek starts slow and easy at 5 a.m. in the morning. The winds are cold and chilly. The way is largely flat. And for a second, you even imagine you're the protagonist of your favorite Hollywood film. You continue chit-chatting through the mountain with your friends and time flies by. However, the mountain doesn't care about your friendships. And slowly, its trail and its path begins to escalate. The road is getting steeper. The rocks to step on are getting farther and farther from each other. And for some odd reason, the mountain top looks farther now than it did when you were at the foot of the mountain. One of your smarter friends, who's a lawyer, suggests that it would be the perfect time to turn back. She argues, like typical lawyers do, hey, anyway, we started quite recently. If we go back right now, we could minimize our losses. But the illusion and the charm of the Shakti Cafe Special Noodles has enchanted you and taken hold in your heart. And one way or another, you promise yourself that before the day ends, you will find a way to have them. To distract your friends through the tough trek, you start chatting about your school days. And in any group, there's a talkative one, the athletic one, the funny one, and so on. And as they go on and enumerate their experiences from school, you're surprised by the variety in their experiences. Now, amongst your friends, you are known as the smart one. And as everyone is recounting the school days, they ask you, hey, what is it like to be smart? You smile, you casually shrug it off. It's all right, I guess, trying not to attract too much attention. But of course, as the trek gets tougher and your leg gets shakier, your mind wanders. You remember, for instance, that time in the math class when the math teacher asked an incredibly difficult question and the entire class was at a loss. Even Raj, the boy who always tops the class, was puzzled. And in that moment, when everyone was silent, something in your mind had clicked and fallen into place. Mysteriously, your hand raised itself, without by itself, and the teacher and the class fell silent as the teacher pointed to you and said, hey, why don't you try? You immediately started talking about your approach in front of the class. The clarity and strength in your own voice surprises you. Sentence by sentence, what seemed like an impossible question crumbles in front of your voice. When you're done, there's a loud silence for 5 seconds before the teacher says that you're correct. Your friends continue to stare at you in disbelief. And for that entire day, you feel like the coolest person in the world. Your thoughts, however, are suddenly interrupted. Whoa! You loudly shout before regaining balance on your foot. Your leg just slipped because the slope of the mountain is unbearable now, almost 20 degrees, and every step feels tough. Even though you continue to take breaks with your friends, you're dehydrated, tired, fatigued, and your legs are broken waypoint their exertion limits. But one way or another, before the day ends, you promise to yourself, you will find a way to have the Shakti Cafe special noodles. Finally, as you approach what feels like the summit, you see a small tin shed perched at the very corner of the mountain valley. On it, in terribly written handwriting with red color paint, is a simple name that's music to your ears. Shakti Cafe. Even in that ugly, skewed handwriting, it fills your heart with hope. You quickly rush into that shed with your legs that are torn beyond its point of exertion and immediately ask for water. As soon as the water touches your lips, the next words come out of your mouth. One Shakti Cafe special noodles, please. As the owner, an old man, fires up the gas, you ask him where he gets the herbs for these special noodles anyway. And he smiles and defiantly says, there's no special herbs. You tell him, wait, they're supposed to be special noodles. Well, if there's no herbs, maybe there's something special about the noodles themselves. And he says, no, it's just your usual brand of Maggi instant noodles. You want to get up and with all the strength that's left in you, want to smack the entire pot off his stove. You climbed all of these thousands of steps for a stupid pack of instant noodles. There were thousands of them at the bottom of the mountain. Somehow, you keep your cool and ask him, fine, what's so special about it? You call them special noodles, don't you? And the old man calmly replies that the noodles aren't special because of themselves. They're special because you climbed all the way here to get it. You see, there's this one guy who climbs all the way to the top of the mountain and then climbs all the way back. And the breakfast he has tastes better than any you or me would ever have had. For a brief second, you examine the old man's words. You think about the time you got the difficult question right in class. When you raised your hand and got an answer that nobody else did, why did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it because you got an answer? Or did you enjoy it because nobody else did? One second, the green card sort of distracted me. Yeah. For a brief second, did you enjoy because you got an answer, or did you enjoy it because nobody else did? The difficulty of the question is why it's special. And the difficulty of the trek is why it's special too. As the old man slowly poured the noodles onto your cup, you begin to understand why they were special. The harder something is, the richer the experience of having done something. Everything in life that is truly worth something is difficult. Being at the top of your field, falling in love, raising children, trusting someone, heck, even writing a speech. These are all in different ways difficult. But because they are difficult, the experience of having lived through them is all the more special. For a second, you finally understand why the noodles are special. You take your plate and you go outside. The fog that was once above you is now beneath you. The mountain stands coldly in front of its kingdom. The view from the top is much better. You sit at a solitary rock on the corner. Take out your fork and chew your way through the first bite of the Shakti Cafe special noodles. Toastmaster of the day, Monica.